east side or west side? Which is the best?
If we were to take a look at the growth, we can see that Caspian grew in the past 10 years by 43% as compared to MV, which only has grown only at 30%. So this means that there's 50% more growth for Caspian.
If you want sales talk, skip this video, but if you want the honest truth, stay with us and continue watching.
Welcome back to another episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth, HTHT, where we cut the fluff, we drop the biasness, and we give you the real story behind Singapore real estate. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you found our content useful. And this is our QR code, and you can get in touch with us if you have any questions.
And for today, we are finally tackling one of the most controversial and long debated and might even trigger some people. And this question is east side or west side? Which is the best?
Yes, I actually a bit scared because some people will say that the east side is the best side because got Katong, Joo Chiat, Changi Airport, East Coast Park, all the good food all at the east side. What about the west?
Some people say, right, west side can go JB faster.
True but very jam .
Okay, so how are we going to settle this once and for all, Titus?
So to make this fair, we have chosen 5 criteria that we will apply to today's comparison between the two projects, and also if the fight is too close, we added a bonus round. So today we'll be taking one condo from the east side versus a condo from the west side and put them head to head and see whichever wins in each category will be awarded the point. So 5 rounds, 1 winner each round, and 1 final verdict to show which one is the best side.
Sounds exciting. So here's the 5 criteria. First, we will look at capital growth performance the past 10 years. Second will be the entry price safety, where we will compare current PSF towards the area benchmark. And then third, we'll also analyze the layout and how livable it is, followed by the rental strength in the area. And the 5th one will be exit liquidity and also the demand drivers, whether it's easy for them to sell further down the road.
So if it comes too close, we will add in the bonus round of the micro location advantage. Of course, there might be many other criteria. If you feel we should change or include some in our next episode, please do let us know in the comments below. So for today, east side versus west side, we're going to go far east and far west. So for the east side, we have selected MV residence in Pasir Ris, and in the west side, we have selected Caspian at Lakeside. So Haikal, off your head, who do you think will win?
So being a west side guy, almost my whole life, right, I will always say west side.
Okay, let's go, right?
Let's see. So for these two projects, right, the details, as you can see, they are very similar in terms of age, where they were both launched in 2008, TOP in 2013. Even the unit size are very similar, right? And both of these projects are also walkable to their respective MRT. So now we will look into criteria 1, which is basically looking at the capital growth performance past 10 years. So Titus, please share more with us.
Okay, so for this part, we will be using our PropNext tech app, right, ProTrend, to help us analyze it. So what you can see is the blue one is MV residence in the east and Caspian is the red one in the west. So in 2015, both was transacting at around 1000 PSF, Caspian 1045, NV at 1036. This is the average PSF of the entire project.
Very close.
So fast forward 10 years later, 2025, Caspian has reached 1529 and MV 1353. But what is important, if we were to take a look at the growth, we can see that Caspian grew in the past 10 years by 43% as compared to MV, which only has grown only at 30%. So this means that there's 50% more growth for Caspian as compared to NV residences.
So west side, best side for now.
So for this round, it seems like west side actually gets the point.
So we're now looking at the second criteria, which is entry price safety, where we'll be comparing the current pricing against the surrounding condo benchmark. So for this, we'll be comparing 3 bidders in both areas. So firstly, we'll consider the west side. For Caspian, the transacted was at 1.9 million. The neighboring one, Lakefront Residence, also transacted around 1.9 million, followed by Lakeville at 2 million. And lastly, Lake Grande, there was a transaction that happened at 1.67 on average.
Why are we doing this is because we need to be very clear. In the resale market, when buyers come into that area, they won't be looking just at your unit or within that one project. They will be looking at several units and across several project around the neighborhood. So this will give us a good gauge of whether the project that you are entering is actually a safe entry price.
Correct.
So if we now were to go to the east side at Pasir Ris, we can see that MV Residence is transacted at around 1.55 million for a 3-bedder. As compared to Livia, it's around 1.7 million, and Pallet beside is around 1.63 million, and of course Coco Palms is at around 1.61 million. So why is this important? Because we can see that Caspian at 1.9 million, around that area, there are actually cheaper option, which is Lake Grande at around 1.67 million.
Correct.
So for Pasir Ris, MV Residence is actually transacting at 1.55 million. With the surrounding competitors, they are actually the cheapest in that area. So this round 2, the east side actually gets the point.
So for the third criteria, we'll be looking at the layout and their livability, right? So we'll be comparing the 3-bedroom of NV Residence at 1109 square feet first.
Okay, so if we were to look at MV Residence, you can see very nicely 3-bedroom, all the bedrooms decent size, right? So what I like a lot is the separated dining from the living area. And you can see that this living area is extra spacious.
Very wide.
Yes, very wide. And most importantly, right, one thing that I always look out for, windows in the bathroom. Because this one will give you a lot of natural ventilation and lights lah.
Important.
Yeah, and the last thing that I really like about this is you see you have a yard and you still have a utility store. For this 3-bedder layout, this could be the helper's room and this could be your laundry area. You don't have to actually do laundry along the window or at the balcony.
So for Caspian, they do have a landscape living, which means your living and dining is very squarish and wide. So a lot of people might like this because it makes your house even more bigger and spacious. And they also have a yard plus a utility room, which is quite similar to what we have seen in NV Residences.
But one thing that I noticed for Caspian is the master bath do have windows, but then the common bath, right, is in the middle of the house.
Okay.
So the natural ventilation in the common bath will be a bit of a small issue lah.
Okay.
So if we were to put them side by side, which one to you is the preferred layout?
So before I share which is my preferred layout, I just wanted to share a pain point for both layout, which is both have bay windows and a planter box. So this area that you are paying for but not livable. But as of today, with the new regulation, right, which is called harmonization, all these things developer have stopped building, which is better for buyers like yourself lah.
And they can't even charge you the aircon ledge right now.
Correct.
But which one is your favorite layout?
So if you ask me, I prefer NV Residences because there's a separation between the living and the dining.
And I think, of course, the ventilation of the whole house lah.
Correct.
Very, very small details, but actually sometimes it's all these small details that makes the huge difference.
Yes.
Lah. So after 3 rounds right now, MV has 2 points and Caspian has 1 point.
Correct.
Let's move on to the 4th round. So in the 4th round, we will be looking at the rental transaction, the rental strength. How we will do this is take the past 1 year sales price average versus the past 1 year rental price average to see which one has the higher yield. So very quickly, Caspian, the sale price average is 1.9 million. The rent average is 5.1 thousand. As compared to NV Residence, 1.55 million. The average rent is 4,001. So if we were to do a effective gross yield, right, Caspian would be around 3.22% and NV at 3.17%.
Wow.
It's actually very, very close lah.
Yes.
But one thing that I noticed, have you realized that the rent for Caspian is very high?
Quite surprising.
How come?
Because I thought east side would be better because of the airport. But
Because of the stewardess, the
Correct.
pilot, all these things. But Caspian at Lakeside, $1,000 more rental than Pasir Ris. It's something that when I was doing the research, I was a bit shocked lah.
Yep, me too. So I think it boils down to having an international school right beside them, which is the Canadian school.
Yes.
So I think that's where the demand for rental is coming from.
Yes.
In terms of the bigger units over there lah.
So quick fact, you want to make a guess, Lakeview, which is just beside Canadian school, how much is the rent for 4-bedder?
6,000-7,000?
Transacted
Is it?
9,000.
Oh, wow. much more.
9,000 is like a landed property already.
Yes, correct. Can get landed.
So all these things is very important because as in the viewers out there has to be very clear about their objective before entering into a project.
Correct.
Imagine you are going for a rental yield. Actually, Lakeview, this site, due to the Canadian school, can consider because 9,000 for a condo.
Strong demand.
Very, very good cash flow, right? So don't blindly follow others because everybody's objective is different.
Correct.
So your goals and your needs would not be the same as others. So wrapping up this round, very, very small difference difference 0.05%. So we call it a draw, right? Because really, really, very tight.
Yes.
Okay, so we move on to our last round, exit liquidity and demand drivers, meaning to say the ease of exiting in the future.
Okay. So basically for NV residents is largely situated in Pasir Ris Estate, and further south there are the Tampines North BTOs. However, on the other hand, for Caspian, it is surrounded by Taman Jurong, Jurong West, even Bukit Batok, and also the upcoming Tengah up north of them, which has a lot of BTOs lah basically.
This is important because these both projects then will have a very good natural upgraders from the HDB. It seems the same, but we want to look at the government plan for both this area. Right, so we have done actually good research, right, and we understand that Jurong Lake District in the next 20 years, they are envisioned to have 100,000 new jobs and 20,000 new homes by 2040 to 2050. And on top of that, the Jurong Regional MRT line.
And they are also slated to be the second CBD in Singapore.
So this is like a whole area transformation.
Correct.
However, as compared to what we know about Pasir Ris, right? Pasir Ris is a mature town.
Yes.
So there are plans by the government to rejuvenate the area. It kind of is a refresh.
Correct.
But whether is it new plans like a very, very big transformation, I don't think so. What they will do is to improve the amenities, to strengthen the transportation link. And of course, you remember the place that we all go and book in every Sunday night, right?
Correct,
For BMT Tekong. That former bus interchange will be redeveloped for more housing.
Wow.
There will be potential redevelopment in the Loyang area. And of course, in 2032, the Elias MRT for the Cross Island line. So generally, I think because of the Jurong Lake District transformation, right, it seems to me, right, that Caspian would have the edge because there is more things happening around there with more jobs and more home. And of course, the big plot of Tengah BTO, right, which is like a new town there. So for this round, we'll award the point to Caspian. So right now, it's 2 versus 2 with 1 round that is draw. So that's where the bonus round comes in.
Okay.
How are we going to do the bonus round, Haikal?
So for the tiebreaker, what we'll be discussing is basically primary school.
Everyone's favorite topic.
Correct.
Yes.
So firstly, we will look at NV residents. Within 1 kilometer, they have Angsana Primary School, Elias Park, and Parkview Primary School. So they have 3 within 1 kilometer. Then on the west side for Caspian, 1 kilometer we have a few: Boon Lay Garden Primary School, Lakeside Primary School, Rulang, and Su Chin Primary School. So there's 4. So basically, there's a difference of 1 between the west and the east.
Okay, but we will adopt the government's call, right? That every school is a good school. We will not use our own prejudice, but there has to be a way to settle this.
Correct.
So we will use data.
Yes.
What we did was we take that percentage oversubscribed of these schools in the area based on 2025 Primary 1 registration.
This to see which one is more popular lah.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the data that we have, right? For an average of the 2 schools, right? We just randomly choose 2 schools in the east and the west. And we have realized that east side actually have the age at 2.26 oversubscribed versus west side at 2.17.
Very close.
So it's really very close. However, NV residents, the east side, age out in this round. It wraps up our entire episode that the east side seems to be the best side, slightly aging over the west side, just by slightly. Do you agree?
So with all the data that we have shared, we cannot disagree lah, definitely. So definitely for this round between East and West, East has taken the big win for today.
So however, viewers, if you disagree with our analysis and you feel that West side is better than the East side, we are just sharing our opinion about how we view real estate in a fun and entertaining way, and we hope that you enjoy. So let us know in the comments below what would you like us to analyze and compare in our next few episodes.
So please do like, share and subscribe, and contact us for consultation using our QR code, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.